Welcome, St. John's, to this episode of Eye of the Storm. I'm Alana Loren Bethia.
And I'm Giovanni Joie.
We have the top stories from St. John's and beyond, and we're bringing them straight to you. This is Eye of the Storm. Beginning with politics, Attorney General William Barr reported that Special Counsel Robert Mueller did not find sufficient evidence to prosecute Donald Trump's campaign for collusion. Barr, along with Attorney General Rosenstein, made the final conclusion that Trump did not commit an obstruction of justice. Mueller's investigation spanned approximately 2 years after suspicions arose of the Trump campaign conspiring with Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election. Following the decision, Democrats demanded Mueller's full report be public. Additionally, House Judiciary Chairman Nadler announced his committee will call Barr to testify in the future.
In more politics, last Tuesday, the Green New Deal, a stimulus program proposed by New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was rejected by the Senate after a 0 to 57 vote. 43 Democrats voted present as a protest. The proposed aim of the program was to address issues of climate change and economic inequality by leading the country off fossil fuels and establishing universal employment. Republican Senator Mike Lee was the most vocal opposer. Criticizing the deal as being ambiguous, many Democrats who had not voted for the Green New Deal have since spoken out in support of future legislation to address climate change.
To highlight some campus news, we're going to take it to reporter Alyssa Dilio, who attended Fashion Club Red House's latest model rehearsal for their upcoming runway show.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Dilio from WRED-TV. I'm here at Red House's model rehearsal for their upcoming fashion show. Let's go check it out. What are some of the things that go into a production like this?
Putting on a show like this can definitely be a lot of work. We have a massive e-board and we all delegate tasks and do all of these different tasks. It involves coming up with a theme. Our theme this year is Vogue Red House Edition. Finding designers, getting a production team to actually physically set up the space. We're also going to be hosting vendors at the show. It's going to be students, mostly students, some non-students, with their own brands and products, and getting all of those people together, and also just working with the school because it is a school project, you know?
What inspired you to audition?
What inspired me to audition is just the fact that I like walking in designers' clothes made to my body type will make me it just makes me feel comfortable.
What are you most excited about for the show?
To be honest, I'm just excited about how it's going to turn out. The turnout is just the best part about the show. The bigger the turnout, the better it's going to be the year after that. So,
what inspired you to audition for the show?
Well, ever since I was young, I've just been really into fashion, and I don't know, people always tell me like I should be a model, so that's like what brought me here today.
What are you most excited for about the show?
I'm excited to see a plethora of different people in the industry and really get a chance to absorb all the knowledge I can.
Be sure to check out Red House Fashion Show on April 25th in Carnesec Arena, and follow them on social media at Red House NYC. This is Alyssa Dilio reporting from WRED-TV. Back to you in the studio. And
thanks, Alyssa. It looks like Red House is going to host an amazing show this year, and we look forward to seeing the final event.
In more news, disaster struck last Monday night when 5 inmates escaped from the Nash County Detention Center in North Carolina. 4 of the inmates have been recaptured by law enforcement. However, 22-year-old Laquarius Rashad Battle is still on the run. The breakout occurred on Monday afternoon when the 5 men discovered a camera's blind spot near the fence of the exercise yard. After forcing the fence, the inmates were able to create a hole and escape the yard. The Office of the Nash County Sheriff is offering a $1,500 reward for information and have urged the local community to remain on the lookout and report any suspicious persons to law enforcement.
News broke on Tuesday that the prosecutors involved in Jussie Smollett's case will drop all of the charges against him. Smollett was facing a 16-count felony indictment that could have left him facing up to 64 years in prison. Though the original reports claimed Smollett was the victim of a hate crime, details of the incident became unclear during the very public investigation. While he had public support during initial reports, Smollett made just as many, if not more people, upset when news broke from Chicago PD that the crime was staged. There hasn't been much information on why the charges were dropped so suddenly, with Smollett's record clean and the case sealed. President Trump tweeted in a response that, quote, the FBI and DOJ will review the outrageous Smollett case in Chicago, unquote.
Moving into sports, with basketball season heating up and baseball season just getting started, there's a lot to talk about. Let's take it over to Missy and Darrell at SportsWire to hear about all the recent events.
Thanks, Gio, and welcome to SportsWire. I'm Missy Dunlop.
And I'm Darrell Balknight. Baseball season is just getting started, and the Red Storm started their season 3-9, but have now gone on a 7-game winning streak to bring them above 500, while outfielder Mike Antico received Big East honorable mention. In their last 3 games this last week, the Red Storm scored a whopping 25 runs while only allowing 3. They started this week against Fairfield and lost 3-4 after Fairfield's Giacomo Brancato drew a game-winning walk.
The SJU women's softball team took a tough loss after losing 25-6 against Stony Brook. The women had won a series against Providence and went 3-1 in the St. John's Invitational. The women are putting their early March struggles behind them as they get ready for their 18 Big East games coming up for the rest of the month.
In the world of professional wrestling, female wrestling star Nikki Bella announced her retirement this past week. In her 13-year career, Nikki holds the record for longest reigning Divas champion and is one of the most popular women's wrestlers in WWE history. Nikki is an ambassador for the promotion of women in sports and entertainment. For the first time ever, WrestleMania 35 will have a women's championship match as the main event. WrestleMania 35 will air on April 7th from MetLife Stadium on the WWE Network.
Free agency has gotten off to a hot start in March. While the Giants seem to be in the business of getting rid of good players by trading Olivier Vernon and Odell Beckham Jr., the Jets are in the business of getting good players as they signed running back Le'Veon Bell and C.J. Mosley. While the Giants are starting from the bottom of the barrel again, David Gettleman should feel himself on the hot seat soon. The Jets, however, should be feeling great about where they stand with Sam Darnold, a promising defense, and the 3rd overall pick in this year's NFL draft.
Well, playoff basketball is finally heating up, and for the first time since 2005, LeBron James will not be in the playoffs. Over 95% of NBA players weren't even in the league back then. MVP favorite James Harden was merely 15 years old at the time. And with the East all but set in stone with the Bucks, Raptors, and Sixers at the top, the West has been a bit of a whirlwind. The Thunder have lost 4 of their last 10 as they now sit at the 7th seed in the West. The 3rd seed Blazers just lost star Jusuf Nurkic to a brutal leg injury the other night. Meanwhile, the Rockets, Nuggets, and Clippers are all playing some of their best basketball yet. So maybe it'll be Warriors in 6 instead of 5 this time around.
Maybe. In Major League Baseball news, as the 2019 season begins, the offseason saw a lot of major roster changes due to top free agents being dealt around the league. Earlier in the winter, Manny Machado signed a $300 million deal with the Padres. Topping this was Bryce Harper's major $330 million deal with Philadelphia, which pretty much locked the prize outfielder as a Philly for life. Contract extensions were also a major part of the offseason, with NL Cy Young winner Jacob deGrom signing a $137 million deal with the New York Mets. Other notable pitching extensions went to Justin Verlander and Chris Sale. However, the winner this offseason was arguably the best player in baseball, Mike Trout, whose extension was the largest sports contract ever signed in North America. For more baseball breakdown and analysis, be sure to tune in next week to watch our newest sports show, Red Storm Wheelhouse, hosted by WRED-TV's very own Anthony Paventa.
That'll be fun, and that's all we have for today. Here on SportsWire, I'm Darrell Balknight.
And I'm Missy Dunlop. Back to Alana and Giovanni.
Thank you, Missy and Darrell. Welcome back. Continuing with more news, recent studies have found that Great Britain is experiencing a significant decline in pollinator species such as bees and hoverflies. A third of species experience population declines. Meanwhile, only about 1/10 of species seem to be growing more abundant, including some bees that pollinate flowering crops. Although some pollination are carried out by honeybees in hives, much of pollination of food crops and wild plants are carried out by their wilder relatives, particularly hoverflies. Scientists say if current trends continue, some species will be lost from Britain entirely.
Last week, the New York Times reported on an investigation underway in Ireland involving sexual assault allegations against former UFC champion Conor McGregor. Irish news media has reported on the story since news of the assault broke last year. Because of Ireland laws preventing media from identifying individuals charged with rape unless they are convicted, McGregor's name was never mentioned in reports overseas. McGregor has yet to be charged with the crime, and the allegations have not been proven.
Now in more campus life, reporter Alyssa Dilio attended another big event this week, the second annual Cyber Summit hosted by SJU Cyber. The event included a panel of high-profile experts in the industry hoping to encourage prospective students. Let's hear what they have to say.
I'm Alyssa Delia with WRED-TV reporting at the CPS Cybersecurity Summit. What is the Cyber Summit?
The Cyber Summit is a collection of alumni, professionals, and industry people, and it's for networking purposes, information purposes, and to further everyone's interest. Yeah.
What brings you here tonight?
I'm interested in cybersecurity. I've been interested in cybersecurity since I was a middle schooler, and I was actually here yesterday for a open house, and they said they were having the Cyber Summit, and I had the time and I wanted to come out and see what they were talking about.
How do you feel the event went overall?
I think it was pretty valuable for the students. The guys give, the panelists give pretty good insights into what it is to be a cybersecurity professional, and I think the most important bit is that it came from different angles. You got risk management, you got penetration testing, you got the military, you got policy, you got every single angle possible. Well, not every angle possible, but a wide range that was really valuable to the students and really valuable to everybody in general. Yeah.
I think it is extremely important for them to interact with these professionals, and the interesting thing is that cybersecurity professionals, for the most part, are always willing to help a newbie, a new person coming into this industry. We can use all the help we can get, and even if, as has been said before, even if we were able to graduate every single person who's interested in cybersecurity, there would be a vacuum of cybersecurity professionals in the millions.
And taking a growth mindset. I think taking a growth mindset is probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give to anyone. You weren't born with any specific knowledge about cyber, right? So you can't really be expected to know everything about it. So to pick something and take it with a grain of salt and just really be open about learning, right? And taking that in and the personal development side of it. I think if you do that and become really great at one specific item, whether it's a process or the technology.
That was certainly informative. This was the St. John's Cybersecurity Summit. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa. It's great to see SJU focusing on the future of cybersecurity. Now, here to give us the inside scoop on the fascinating world of Hollywood is Amarachi Yugonabo and Tori Campbell. We take it over to Entertainment Now. What's happening, guys?
Hey guys, welcome back to Entertainment Now. I'm Amarachi Ugonabo.
And I'm Tori Campbell.
We're excited to bring you all the best inside drama on this week's trending topics. Starting off with the movie everybody's been talking about, Jordan Peele's Us, just hit theaters on March 22nd. Us came soon after Peele's successful previous 2017 film, Get Out, and explores a similar horror mystery theme. Lupita Nyong'o stars as Adelaide, along other well-known co-stars such as Winston Duke and Elizabeth Moss. At number 1 with an estimated $70 million revenue in its opening weekend, Us is a huge success as the third largest opening of all time for an R-rated horror film.
Oh my God.
Avoiding spoilers like the plague because I'm seeing it next week.
I'm so excited. I'm seeing it next week as well. We gotta go. It's looking so phenomenal, and everybody is talking about it. It is on every platform.
I can't wait to finally talk about it.
I have earplugs all the time. Going into television, though, one of Freeform's most popular shows, Pretty Little Liars, has prepared a new spin-off, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, starring Sasha Peters and Janelle Parrish, reprising their previous roles. The project comes from the same creators, with writer and executive producer Marlene King, and is based off the popular book series The Perfectionists by Pretty Little Liars author Sarah Shepard. After the March 20th premiere, some Pretty Little Liars fans are still skeptical that the new show will not live up to the same hype, but we'll just have to wait and see.
You know, I've never watched Pretty Little Liars, and I thought the era was over, so I'm like, why are they making another one?
I loved Pretty Little Liars, and I'm so nervous that it's not going to live up to the par of how much Pretty Little Liars. Like, I don't know where else they could go with this.
I mean, at least you get more content, I guess, for you PLL fans. But for me, maybe I'll get into it one day. Who knows? Well, more on movies. After 30 long years of waiting, Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves have just announced that a new Bill and Ted adventure is in the works. Reeves and Winter made their debut way back in 1989 in the cult classic Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. In the new movie, Bill and Ted will fulfill their rock and roll destinies when they save the world by once again bringing harmony to the universe aided by musical legends along the way. Bill and Ted Face the Music will hit theaters August 2020. Again, I have never seen Bill and Ted.
See, I haven't seen it either, but I've seen some of the information on it, and I'm excited. Like, I feel like there's a new era of things coming out, and there's a new era of movies and TV shows where everything is coming back and resurfacing. And I'm kind of excited to see where TV takes a turn
there's
with it.
always like longtime fans who hate everything new. So
yeah.
I really hope this movie
I hope it could do them, yeah.
Yeah, do them justice.
Moving on to another anniversary, the studio of Ghibli classic Howl's Moving Castle is celebrating 15 years since its initial release. This Academy Award-nominated film will officially kick off Ghibli Fest 2019. Ghibli Fest 2019 will also include several other award-winning movies, such as Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary. Howl's Moving Castle will return to theaters for 3 nights starting April 7th.
I love Studio Ghibli.
I'm
And Howl's
so
Moving
excited.
Castle has been on my list for like 10 years now. So maybe now that it's celebrating such a cool anniversary, I'll finally actually get to see it.
I know, I love anniversary stuff like that when they put I get so excited.
Just celebrating Ghibli is always a great thing.
Exactly.
It's all they've done to contribute to cinema. Well, on to music. In a personal Instagram post that alarmed believers everywhere, superstar Justin Bieber revealed that he's taken a break from making new music. During his time out of the spotlight, Bieber plans to focus on his marriage to actress and model Hailey Baldwin, as well as his mental health. Bieber admitted he is currently unable to give fans the lively, energetic, and live concert that they deserve until he takes time to address deep-rooted issues. He concluded the post by informing fans that once his mental health and family life is in check, a kick-ass album will be released ASAP.
As a believer from
you're a believer?
way back when, I've had my little rocky moments with it, but I think ultimately at the end of the day, the thing that's most important is like he's checking in with his mental health. He's getting his life together. There's been a lot of rocky up and down.
His life has been in the spotlight since he was like 13.
Since 13 years old, he has been everywhere, and like he needs that mental break to take back and like reground his life.
Yeah, I'm happy he's just chilling and he's comfortable where he is, as
and
everyone needs
she's
to be.
gorgeous, so
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Take your time. In tech during Apple's March presentation, the company revealed the launch of an original gaming service, a new subscription platform, and video streaming service. CEO Tim Cook explained that the streaming service will be ad-free and feature an original movie and TV shows. Competition will competition will certainly be on the rise for mainstream services such as Netflix and Hulu come the release of Apple TV Plus in the fall of 2019.
Apple already has their foot in a lot of things, and I feel like what you told me before, like stepping into something that's already super competitive with Netflix
Yes.
and Hulu is just a bad thing for them to do, and not a smart move either.
I think they're trying to strategize and move into the industry of tech, but they already have so many different platforms out there that they're going into, like I said, a competitive field already. So I'm interested to see what they think that they will bring to the table that will compete with the other industries that are already out there specializing in this field.
I mean, they got a lot of celebrities backing them up, so
let's hope. I just want to see some new content, so.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. Well, that's all the exciting Hollywood news we have for you guys this week. I'm Amarachi Uganabo.
And I'm Tori Campbell. See you next time.
Thanks, guys. Now, before the end of the show, we'd like to leave you on a happy note. Here to shine spotlight on the often overlooked positive side of news is Fatima Sajab with Sunny Side Up.
Thank you, Alana. I'm Fatima Sajad with Sunny Side Up, here to share some recent stories that are sure to make you smile. Starting with something for all the animal lovers, there's a new artist gaining recognition in South Africa, and she's hogging up the market. Picasso the pig has been making a name for herself after being rescued as a piglet back in 2016. After arriving in her new home, she quickly showed a unique interest in color and paintbrushes. Picasso learned to make art by dipping brushes into pots of paint and drawing on canvas. She has collaborated with a watch company, Swatch, to create her watch face design. Picasso, however, does not hog all her earnings, as proceeds from her paintings go towards animal welfare. In more animal-related news, it seems that after countless activist movements, some wild animal poachers are beginning to see the light. The World Wildlife Fund has initiated a new tactic to protect endangered animals. Recruit poachers to help find and protect rare creatures. The organization recognized that poachers have developed hunting skills that could be used for good instead of evil. So far, the program has greatly influenced the upgrade of snow leopards from endangered to vulnerable. After last week's fire consumed the Islamic Society of Mid-Manhattan's mosque, members and representatives of the Jewish Central Synagogue opened their doors to displaced worshippers. The synagogue's Lindenbaum Pavilion took over 500 Muslims and allowed them to utilize the space for afternoon prayer until reconstruction on the mosque. Rabbi Angela Buchdal attributes the move to aid her religious neighbors to her synagogue's experience after a fire took their sanctuary. In fact, Buchdal further adds that this was the holiest moment he has experienced in New York. That's all the cheerful news I have for now on Sunny Side Up. I hope these stories gave some positivity to your day. Now back to Alana and Giovanni.
Thanks, Fatima, for the heartwarming stories. What a positive note to end the show on, right? That's all we have for this edition of Eye of the Storm. For all the latest content, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at WRED-TV.
Also, be sure to check out WRED-TV.com to keep up with all of our episodes and find out how you can be a part of our productions. From all of us here, I'm Alana Loren Bethia.
And I'm Jovan Dijbal. Thank you all.